Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Can you see my screen if I share you something like this? Is this the full view or you have a very small screen?
We can see
We can see
The whole
full,
screen?
the full
yes,
screen.
the full screen.
Okay, that's good. All right. If you go to chapter 3, okay, we just start. Right. Chapter 3 is about method of analysis. And over here, we're going to learn about two analysis, the nodal analysis and mesh analysis. And when you have a nodal analysis, you may found super node there. And like mesh analysis also you have super mesh. Okay. And do you still remember what we will have if we have elements in parallel? Can you guess what type of electrical elements that have the same value if this thing is arranged in parallel?
Voltage.
Yes, voltage. Okay. And then what if we have it in series? What type of electrical elements? Current, yes, current. So this is a basic for your nodal and also mesh analysis. Okay. All right. Some of the terminology. Do you still remember what is planar circuit? There is no crossing branches. What is a branch? Okay, ask you. What is a branch? A branch is any element, right? And what element we have in our last class?
Voltage, resistor.
Yes, voltage is a active, and yes, active and passive. Okay. Alamak. I still need to admit people. Right. See, too many. Okay, be patient. Try your best to enter this before 11:30 so that we can accept all without interrupting in the class. Okay, welcome. Welcome all. So we have elements, two types of element, active and passive. Let's see. All right. And what is a branch? Any element. A branch is any element. An element can be active, such as voltage source or current source. And passive can be resistor, inductor, and also what? Capacitor. Resistor, inductor, and capacitor. All right. And then we go back to our slide, chapter 3. A node. What is a node? A node is when you have two elements or two branches. This is one branch, this is another branch, right? So if you have two branches connected in series, side by side like this, we say that we have one node. Okay, you can always refer to your slide. This is your slide, right? Mana tadi? Chapter 3. Yes, this. A node is when you have two or more elements are joined, connected together. Okay, so for the basic of a node, is when you have at least two branches connected at a single point like this. But you may have more than that. Let's say you have something like this, then another one like this, and another one like this. Yeah. What is essential node? Essential nodes is when you have at least one, two, three branches connected at a single point like this, or more than 3 branches connected at a single point like this. Then we still say this one as a node, but we put something else in front. Essential node. Okay, so far so good. Okay, always interrupt me. If you're not sure what I say, or my handwriting is very bad, then you can just ask me to do it properly. All right, now essential nodes done. Branches, okay, done. A path that connects to nodes. Loop, yeah. A loop or a mesh is basically if you have a closed circuit like this, then you have a one closed loop or a mesh. One mesh or a loop. Okay. All right, we go back to our slides. Okay, can I test you? How many essential nodes we have here?
1,
3.
2, 3.
Okay, one of your friends said 3. Who? Everyone agrees with 3, or you have something else?
Ma'am, 3, yeah, agreed.
Okay, 1. Essential nodes, 2, then 3. What about this here? Is this essential nodes or not? At least 3 branches connected.
This would count as ground, right?
No, because I asked you what is how many essential nodes we have.
Then 4.
Yes, it's 4. Essential nodes is when you have 3 or more branches. A branch is an animal, right? So branches connected at a single point. Okay. So this one, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, good. What about a node? A node. Check. A node. How many nodes do you have, including these essential nodes? How many? Okay, you have 4 for essential nodes. Plus
Plus 1.
plus 1. Where is that one? Here?
R6 and R3.
R6 and R3, okay. And do you realize we have another one?
R1 and R2.
R1, R2.
Yes, good. So we have 6. 4 plus 2, 6. So this is 6. This is 4. Okay. And then branches, okay. Kan? What is a branch? How many branches we have? Hmm? 1, okay. 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, right? Do you agree?
Agree.
Branches? Yes, 11. How many mesh or loops do we have? A closed loop?
6.
6, also 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yes. So this is 6. The rest, I think, not really important. Because this is actually important for your nodal and mesh analysis. That's why I highlight. All right, we go to nodal analysis. Okay, nodal. Oh, sorry, Shasha lambat sikit. Okay, do you have any question before we start? Huh? No, You just proceed. Okay, if we have, okay, nodal analysis. Nodal analysis, as the name tells you, is a node, right? Node. So you need to concentrate on the dot there. Okay, this particular point. Or we have another node. Okay, good. Right, first, if you were asked to use nodal analysis to answer the question, what should you do is first, I better put some examples so that you do understand this. Okay, maybe this is a resistor, then some other resistor. Maybe this is a current source. Or should I put it other way around? I think other way around. Okay, so this is a current, a voltage source. Okay, first you need to identify what? Identify the essential nodes. Essential node. What is essential node? Essential node is when you have three or more branches connected at a single point like this. Okay, so can you figure out where is the node with the most essential nodes? With the most, the bottom part. We have 4, right, connected to this. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4 connected at a single point here. Okay, so because of that, we consider that node as your reference point. Reference point. And then put a reference point. What is a reference point? It's basically you
Ground.
Yes, a ground, which is equal to 0 volt. 0 volt. Okay, 0 volt. Okay, so you put that thing here. Okay, with 0. Okay, second, what should you do? Is to identify other nodes. Identify other nodes. Identify means you need to give names. Give names or value for that. Value for the node. For example, we have this as a 3 ampere and this one as your 5 volt. 5 volts. Okay. And where is the other nodes exist in the circuit? Is this a node?
Yes.
Yes, good. This one? Yes, right. This one also one single node. So because of that, you need to give some name if there is no value. But if you have, if you know the value, then you don't give a name. Macam tu lah. So for this part, okay, the most right corner here, what do you think? This node, the value or the name for this node? Can you guess? What do you think? Can you guess what is this one? Still remember this? If you have a voltage source connected to like this, and then there's some ground down here, and this value is 5 volt, and this node maybe is a VA. So how do you find what the value of VA is equal to? You need to minus from higher in polarity with the low in polarity equal to the value of this voltage source. All right. How do I know this is the high in polarity? Because I just look at the positive and the negative sign there. Okay. That's the most common for our voltage source or active element. So VA minus with 0 equal to the value of this voltage source, which is 5 volt. Then VA is equal to 5 volts. If you realize, my final answer with the unit, right? Can you see it? That's right. So this node, the VA node here, or I put VA here, is actually equal to 5 volt. In our actual circuit, we don't write down the VA for this if you know the value. So straight away you put this as a 5 volt. Okay, or we just ignore the unit here, just put 5. So if you look at here, is this 2 here, alamak tadi, is this 2, this node and this node, are they the same? Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes, they are the same, right? And remember, if we have an element connected in parallel like this, or you have another element, or as long as they are connected in parallel, you should have all voltages same. If this is Vs, then this one V1, V2, and V3, all here is equal to each other, okay? Vs equal to V1, equal to V2, equal to V3. So this 5 volt here is the same as 5 volt here, right? So don't get confused. Okay, I just give some value. Right. Now, what do you think this one? This one, this part. Is there any value there? Or name? Should you give the name or the value for this?
No, madam.
No, right? Because this is a 3 amps. 3 amps connected to the ground. Basically, you have a current here which flows 3 amps to here. Okay, the same current flowing to this, right? But I don't want to concentrate on that. I just want to concentrate on the node value. So over here, this is, I changed the color. Right. This one is a V1. You can put any names. What about here? V2, right?
V2.
Because there's no value there. So you give name, right? Now everything done. Third, what should you do? Third is to give direction to your current, to current flowing, current. Okay. We have 1 ohms, 2 ohms, 5 ohms, and 10 ohms. So you give, in my class, I always said, if I have a horizontal element, I will give from left to right current I want. And then if I have a horizontal, no, this is vertical. Vertical, I use a current direction from up to down, up to bottom. So this is I2. Just give any, you can put any direction, no problem. As long as you stick with it. And this is I2, this is I3, and this is I4. Basically, you can skip these steps, but you need to understand what you do. Okay. Okay. Now done with that current direction. Number 4, what should you do? You should identify is there any super mesh? Super node. Because the name tells you here there's a nodal, right? So you need to figure out, is there any super node in here? So what is super node? Super node is when you have a voltage source, whether this is independent or dependent.
Independent.
Yes, independent. Okay. Yeah, good. Independent or dependent. Dependent voltage source connected to end to end, but this end is a unknown node. Maybe V1 and then V2. And so this is unknown node. And maybe this is Vx and maybe Vy. What is a known node? It's a node with value. Node with value. Is a 0 volt a known value or not? 0 volt.
Yes.
Yes. It's a known node. Okay, good. So if you have something like this, a voltage source, whether independent or dependent source, connected to two unknown nodes like this, then you say that there is a supernode. Okay, there is a supernode. But bear in mind, since we know that if an element connected in parallel to other element, it should have a same voltages, right? V1 here, same as a V2 here, right? So if, let's say, these voltages, the dependent or independent, connected in parallel with some element, other element, as long as this is in parallel, something like this, okay, then we need to consider this element here, parallel element here, as one of your supernode. My example is something like this. If I have like this, okay, thing like this, maybe I put resistor here. Kesusah tengok. Sekejap. Okay, I just put something like this so that you can see it clearly. Okay, this. Ataupun I change this one to up there. Okay, something like this. Okay, first you need to consider, is there any supernode or not? Yes. If there is, you need to draw the boundary for this. Okay. Where is the boundary? Anything attached to this point and this point, this point and this point. So this is the point, right? We have a voltage source here, and maybe, yeah, maybe you get confused here. This is V1, this is V2. Then we have two nodes here connected to each other like this, and then it is attached to some resistor here, right? So what should you do? You draw the boundary for this supernode. So where is the boundary? The boundary should be at this. Okay. How do I know? You look at this node and this node, because the voltage source here is connected to these two unknown nodes, right? So anything attached to this, it should have a boundary to that. Okay. Maybe if you go through the example, then you do understand. Because our main purpose is to figure out this thing. Because when you have a supernode, you have two things to consider. You need to build up two equations. One is an equation for KCL and another is for KVL, right? So since KCL is actually a current, you need to find current into the boundary or leaving the boundaries, such as like this. If I put this is I1, I2, I3, and I4, then can you guess what is the KCL at this boundary?
I1 equals to I2 plus I3 plus I4.
Ah, yes, good. Okay, so you can write like this. KCL at the super node is equal to I1. The entering current, I enter, should be equal to I leaving. Okay, so I1 is equal to I2 plus I3 plus I4. Okay, and then what is the KVL around supernode?
V1 minus V2 equal to
I just
Equals
the
to
value.
5.
5.
Okay, good. You look at the sign, the polarity, right? So this is the higher polarity and this is the lower in polarity. So V1 minus V2 equal to 5. Or another way to know this is by looking at this, you can draw. This is plus minus and this is V2 plus minus like this. Okay, and this is connected to the ground. So you can do the KVL around this loop. Okay, since we have a minus here first, and then a plus here, and then plus here. So you can do the KVL. KVL is actually you build up a voltages across you build up the voltages around the closed loop, right? So you have here V1 minus V1 plus 5 plus V2 equal to 0. We should have the same equation, right? Do you agree? Yes, just rearrange this and this, right? Okay, so basically we have, if you have a supernode, then you should consider these two equations. Oh, by the way, this is not yet finished. If you give me I1 equal to I2 plus I3 plus I4, this is not yet finished. So what should you do? You need to find C here. What is the current? So current is basically what? According to our Ohm's law, current is equal to what?
V over IR. V over R.
Yes, V over R. So look back at your circuit. Maybe this is Vs. And another thing, this is a ground. Yeah, the rest I think okay. So you can do the math here. Vs minus V1 over, maybe this is 5, this is 3, 2, and 10 ohms. So Vs minus V1. Why I put Vs minus V1, not V1 minus Vs?
Because Vx has the high polarity.
Yes. This is according to what? Passive sign?
This is my
Convention, right?
convention.
Yes, good. So the current, look at your current. This is your current, right? So better I put highlighter. Okay. This is your current direction. Tak nampak pula. Since this current direction is entering a passive element, you should have a plus here and minus the other end. So Vs minus V1 divide by what? Divide by 5. And then look at this equation down here, this equation. So equal to, what is I2?
V1 over V3.
V1 over 3. And then what is V2? V2, I3. I3 equal to V2 divided by 2. And then plus, what is I4? I4 is V2 minus 0 here divided by 10. Okay, V2 minus 0 divided by 10. But 0 you don't need to draw, to write. So just ignore the 2, then okay. So far so good. Do you have any questions? Huh? And this is number 4 step, right? Number 4 to identify supernode. So this is number 4. Still number 4. Continue. Continue. So number last. Number 5. What should you do? Build up other equations at unknown node. Okay, let's see if you have this is 10 volt, and maybe this is another resistor, a voltage source, and another resistor. Jap. Ini tak best. Okay, I just put a resistor to simplify. Right, now you have this one as a 10, right? This is ground. This is maybe V1 and this is V2. Do you have something to ask? Can I check? Oops. Okay. All right. Okay, we have this V1 and V2. So I said that number 5, the step for number 5 is to build up other equations at unknown nodes. So where is this unknown nodes?
V1 and V2.
Yes, V1 and V2. What about that 10 volt? This is a known nodes. So you don't need to build up any equations there. You just do the equation for V1 and V2. Okay, so what is this one then?
V1 minus 10 divided by
V1 minus 10. Wait. If you follow according to this, I1, I2, I3, and I4, something like this, then current entering a passive element should have a positive, and this is a minus. So you should have the KCL at V1 is equal to
10
I1 is the entering equal to I2 plus I3, right? So what is I1? 10 minus V1 over, maybe this is 5 ohms, over 5 equal to I2. I2 is V1 divided by 10, and then plus I3. I3 is V1 minus V2 over, maybe this is 3. So divide by 3. This is your another equation at V1. And then you build up another one, KCL at V2. By the way, if you give me this 10 volt node here, I give you some point. Correct marks there. So that I know that you know what you have here. Okay, so I3 equal to I4, which is equal to V1 minus V2 divided by 3, and equal to, what is I4? Yeah, maybe this is 1. So V2 divided by 1. Okay, so far so good.
Yes.
Yes, Alhamdulillah. So can we go to mesh analysis, or do you want to take a break? Yes. Any response? Or you don't understand something? Mesh analysis. If you look at your circuit, where is the mesh example? Okay, something like this. Same sama je lebih kurang. Alright, mesh analysis is when you have, this is by example. Oh, you have something, this is a current source, some resistor, and maybe this is 3 volt. Okay, first, as the name tells you a mesh is actually a closed loop, right? A closed loop. You need to identify the imaginary what? Imaginary loops. How many imaginary loops you have here?
3, madam.
Yes, good. So 1, 2, and 3. Just give a name there. So this is I1, I2, and I3. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2. What else? Number 2, what should you do is, to me, you just identify the super mesh. Super mesh. Right, what is a super mesh? Super mesh is when you have a current source, whether this is independent or dependent current source, in between two closed loop. Okay, two closed loop. As long as this is a closed loop, then you consider this as a super mesh. All right. What if I have something like this? Sorry, this is a current source. Then I have something like this, and then the circuit continues. Is this a super mesh or not?
No.
No, because this is not in between two closed loop. Okay. So if you have like something like this, number 1 and number 2 like this is a super mesh. And we go through our basic. If we have something in series with current source, what do you think we have current? The current here is equal to what? If this is IS, what is I1 here? Yeah, same, right?
Same current.
Same, because the current is flowing from here to here. Okay, good. And then, so basically, if you have a current source in series with something, some element to here, you need to consider that element or include that element as your super mesh. Okay. And when you identify super mesh, what should you do? You need to draw the boundary. Okay, the boundary. Any element in series with this current source, you need to include as 1. So the boundary should be there. Yeah, basically you draw the boundary. Okay, next. What should we do next? Okay, when you found there is super mesh, then there is 2 equations involved, KCL and KVL. Same as like previous. And if I give some example here, this is 10, this is 5, this is 3, something like this. And this is I1, this is I2. Okay. And what is the KCL for this super mesh? Can you guess? This is a 5 volt. You can do the KCL at this point or this point. Doesn't matter. Let's say the bottom point. We have I2 imaginary current flowing from here to here, right? Do you agree? And then we have the current, imaginary current I1 flowing from right to left. It's I1. So based on the KCL at this node, we have current entering equal to current leaving. So I2 equal to
I1 plus.
plus 5, right? Okay, good.
Madam, is it 5 volt or 5 ampere?
Oh, 5 ampere. Sorry. Yeah, I put volt. Yeah, Allah. Hmm. Now I know you guys alert. Okay. So this is I2 plus I1. No, not plus, equal to I1 plus 5 amps. Okay. But please do not write down unit in the equation. Please do not write down unit in the equation. What is a unit? Ampere here. No, I don't want this. Okay. So just that. So what is KVL then? Oh, by the way, this is number one, how to find a KCL at super mesh. Number two is by just looking at the current direction. This is I2 and this one I1. The same current direction, which is I2, the same current direction as this source should be I2 minus with the opposite current direction, I1, should be equal to that 5 amps. Is this too simple? This is 5 amps.
Yes.
Yes, right? So it's up to you. You want to use the node at this particular node, or you want to use the other one. Okay, as long they give you the same. All right, what is KVL then? KVL around the boundary here. Okay, we start with 10. As the name tells you V there, what is the Ohm's law? Voltage equal to IR, right? So you need to find what is the I and what is the R. Since this is a 10 ohms, then what is the current flowing through 10 ohms? You look at what? You look at the imaginary current, right? The imaginary current. This one, the imaginary current. So I1. So here, this is a 10 I1. Okay. And then the next one is this one, 5. Oh, by the way, you look at the current direction. Current is entering a passive element, right? Okay. This is a passive element, so you should have a plus here. So that's why we have a plus sign in front of 10I1. And then the current is continue to flow to 5 ohms. And since this is a passive element, you should have plus here. So plus 5. Can you guess what is the current for 5 ohms?
I2.
I2. Okay, good. Okay, let's see. I put another loops here so that I confuse you guys. Okay, and this is I3. I3. Okay, then the current is flowing through here, 3 ohms. 3 ohms. By the way, is this boundary outside here still the same as the one we have super mesh? If you include another loops here, same, right? Because our super mesh is actually what? When you have a current source in between two closed loop, because this is the first closed loop, right? And this is another closed loop. So only these two is considered as your super mesh. So our boundary should be where? This outer here, only here. So regardless you have another loops here or there, you still have to consider the one attached to this current, the middle current here. Okay. So we continue with our previous the 3 here. So this is current flowing through 3 ohms. Can you guess what is the current flowing through 3 ohms here? And by the way, these 3 ohms is sharing in between 2 loops, I3 and I2, right? And we have plus here, plus 3, plus 3. What is the current?
I3 minus I2.
I2 minus I3.
Yeah.
I2 minus I3.
You need to consider the one you focus first. In our case, we focus on I2 first, right? The super mesh loops first. So we need to consider that first, and then minus with the one shared with these 3 ohms. So I3 is the sharing part. And then you need to end it with equal to 0. Okay. So this is our second equation. So far so good. Or you confused somewhere. And in front, you don't need to write down any plus symbol. Okay. Any questions? By looking at here, can we answer the questions or not? We have we have 2 equations. We have 2 unknowns here, but here we have 1, 2, and 3. You still need to have another equation at this loop, right? Okay, so you need to find the equations here. Let's say this equation is equal to maybe this is 5 and 6 ohm. So that equation is equal to, and actually the resistor in series you can plus, right? So 5 plus 6 is equal to 11 I3, and then plus 3 into I3 minus I2 equal to 0. This is KVL around loop 3. And only by this you can answer all the equations in, and you can find I1, I2. You can find I1, I2, and I3. Okay, so far so good because we have 3 equations. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, is it okay? Okay or not? Madam,
Yes,
can I
ma'am.
see the
Okay.
step 1 and 3 before the supernode? Okay. Step 1 and 3 before the supernode. Huh? Before the supernode. Oh, this one. Is this the one? You can unmute yourself. Okay, let's see. Yes, okay, good. You perform. All right. Okay. If you have any question, you just tell me. We can discuss during the class time. Okay, done? Can you solve this one? Okay. Assalamualaikum. Okay, your friends asked me about one question. Nice question. Then we have how many? Okay, maybe this is a discussion with the class. This is 6. This is current source, voltage source. This is 4. Then some dependent circuit here. Then 3 ohms. This is by using Nodal, brother. This is 2.
Yes.
Okay, good. Where is the I? This is an I, but because actually I want to know, this is an unknown, right? Exists elsewhere in the circuit. So where is that I? Oh, here. I. Okay, good. All right, good. Ah. Hmm. Okay. Now, since this is a nodal analysis, then you have a 0 here, and then you figure out what is the actually, brothers and sisters, you can put anywhere your reference point. You can put it here, or you can put it here, or you can put it here to simplify your questions. If you put it down here, bottom, then you will have two what? Two supernode. Do you agree?
Agree.
Yes. If you want to simplify yourself, you put either one side of this. Which one you don't like, then you put there. So maybe I put it here to simplify the answer. This is a 0 point, the reference point. Okay. And is there, sekejap soalan ni tak habis. And is there 2SN? 2. Okay. If you put down here, yes, you have two super node. Okay, our brother asked me, if we put down here, the 0 here, do we have two supernodes? What do you think? By the way, you need to give the value, right? The value or names. So this is B1, this is B2, and this is B3. So if we have like this, then we have a supernode. Two supernodes, in fact. Yes. And where is the boundary? Should we include the 4 ohms here? What do you think? We say that if you have a voltage source in parallel, right? And in between with two unknowns, B1, B2 like this, then we consider this, including the resistor, as your one super node. But since 4 is not in parallel, then this is another super node. We have here one and another here. But I suggest you to put the reference point on the right side or the left side. It's better for you. Okay? You will reduce your steps. Okay, then. So if I put it here, B1, and nothing here. This is the ground, 0. And this is B2 and this is B3. Okay. This one I should delete. Remove this. Okay, good. And then we draw the supernode. Oh, better I put a boundary. This one. This is a supernode. Should I include 6? Brother, if you put your bottom point as a reference point, then you should include the 6. But it's quite troublesome to have both at the same time. So if you do it like this, then you have, okay, you give the current direction first. And then maybe this is I1, this is I2. Okay, no, I cannot give this one as a I1. And this is I3. Because this is the one they give and the other one up here, I1. Okay, so our equation will be, since we have a KCL, we have a super node here, then you need to have a KCL and KVL at super node. So the first one, KCL is, jap. Okay. This one. All right. Okay. What is V2? Is that a name or a value? Okay, I simply,
It's an M, I think.
come again?
It's an M. There's no value. Unknown.
Are you sure? This is the ground. I simplify your view. This is 10. This is V2. Okay. I said that if you have this, the higher in polarity should be minus with low in polarity equal to the value, right? So 0 minus V2 equal to 10, which is V2 equal to negative 10. Do you agree V2 is equal to negative 10 then?
I think after we change the ground, yes, it will be negative 10 since the
Yeah.
ground isn't there.
Yes. So this one is actually your negative 10. That's why I said you need to consider the reference point so that your you will not take your time to answer the questions. Okay. So please be careful. So yeah, you have negative 10 here. This point is your negative 10 and V3, and yeah, the rest. Oh, there's another one. What is this part down here? Is there any value? No, right? So you put,
There is no value.
so you need to put the name for this. So this is V1. Okay, I give a name there. Right, so KCL for supernode. This is a supernode here.
So, madam,
Yes?
and if the question itself specific the ground, I mean, where's the ground? So can we change it ourselves, or we have to stick?
Actually, you need to follow
Yeah.
the questions.
So
But
I think
but you can you can check your answer by doing another method.
yeah,
It's
because
supposed
so the question is they put the ground
oh,
down.
down there.
Yes.
Down there. So you consider the seats as part of your evaluation. But it will take time, but maybe I will try do it for you later and I share. For this part, I just want to show you just the easier way to answer this. Okay. Right. So KCL at super node. What is a KCL at the super node? You look at what? You look at the current direction. The current direction of this entering the boundary and current leaving the boundary here, leaving the boundary here. But what about this 10? 10 is actually this part, right? The current, according to our passive sign convention, is that direction. Okay? Do you agree or not? But this one also will take your time juga. Because of why? Because you will consider this part as a difficult part. Because there is only a 10 volt here, and also without, do you have any current here? No, there's no specific current. But this 10 volt is sharing in between this loop and this loop, but you cannot use that method. Okay, tak apa. Okay, later. Boleh tak kalau kita buat macam ni? Sana. the voltage source. If I consider the resistor, the ground down there, then this is negative plus 5i. And this is 6. Okay, this is plus minus. This is 2. This is 4. This is 3. Then you put the value here and value here. This is 5i. And this is a I. Okay. The current direction. So where is our super mesh? If this is the ground. We can consider individually something like this and also something like this. But you can actually combine this. Okay, combine this. If you combine this, then you will, why we can combine? Because V1 minus V2 is equal to this 10 volt. Oops, 10 volt. This 10 volt. And then V3 minus V2 equal to 5i. Okay, equal to that. And then if we, because actually this one I already attempt, but I'm not sure which one is the shortest. If I'm not mistaken, when we combine both, this is a shorter way. Since this path here is connected to unknown, and this also connected to unknown, then you consider this as one boundary of supernode. If you didn't consider the seeds, also can. If you just consider this thing, also can. But actually, the V1 is the same current flowing to V3. You will get the same. I changed the color. If you consider this part only, okay, and the current here is going out, and this part is going up, and this part is going down. Okay, this current and this current, they are same. So if you minus both, you still get the same. That's why I said you can actually consider 6 as part of your supernode. So just consider the whole thing here, right? And then follow the same way, KCL at supernode. What is the KCL at the supernode? The I here, bukan I1, I only, plus this I1, and then plus this I2. Okay, since they all here leaving the boundary, so I plus I1 plus I2 equal to 0. Okay, and then KVL. KVL is a little bit tricky at supernode because you have here two ways. One is V2, V1 minus V2 equal to 10. And the other one is actually V3 minus V2 equal to 5i. Okay. And if you put, let's say you put something like, I change the color. If you put this value, this is a V1, this is a 10, and this is V2, but you equal it with something, negative plus here, and this is a V3, and this is 5i. Okay, if you consider only one, so that one equation is into here, let's say you have a V3 minus V2 equal to 5i, then what is V2? V2 is equal to V3 minus 5i, right? So you consider this into here, and then V1 minus V2 equal to 10, then V1 minus this V2 equal to, this is plus 5i equal to 10. Then you have one equations for this KVL, okay, which is this part. Okay, try first, brother, if you get this answer correct or not. Then this plus V2 over 4, and then plus V3 over 3 equal to 0. But is this finished or not yet? Because you look at the how many unknown we have. Oops, how many unknowns we have. Like here we have 1, 2, and what is I? And then 1, 2, 3 unknown. So at least you need 3 equations there. What is I? What do you think? What is I? I is equal to, if you look at here, I is equal to B1
Over 2.
over 2. So you need to, bukan I1, I. You need to substitute this V1 into here. And then, yes, you have 1, 2, 3 still. There's another equations for our, if you want to have 3 unknowns, then you need at least 3 equations there. So where is the other equations? Is that here? Or is that here? I think in the middle. This V2. V2 equations. But I will check back the how to get this, because I basically you do this correct. If you have this one also, no. This one V1 minus V3 over 6. V1 over 3. Any suggestion? This is the second question or what, brother? Oh, the answer, right. Oh, there's the answer there. Okay, good. I will try both methods, and I let you know, because I do think we need to build up equations at V2 here in the middle, so that we get the 3 equations at least. Okay. Can we solve by only these 2 equations, 1 and 2? I don't think so. And if we take out from this equation V1 minus V3, the current here over 6, there's nothing to do with this, no. So we need to consider maybe in the middle here, the V2. If you consider this, you need to consider the current direction from here, and then current direction to here, and current direction to here. So V2, because this is a voltage, they're quite troublesome. Or maybe consider each one separately. Okay. Maybe I will try first and then get back to you later, brother. Is it okay?
Yes, sure.
But which one you try? You try using 2 supernodes or only 1 supernode?
I use different method. I watch it on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
By using each wire have a same voltage and minus them unequal. I sent you the solution before.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, so you consider two. This is two supernodes, right? Two supernodes you didn't combine as one, right?
Yes.
Yes. Because I tried both, I got the same answer last time, but I'm not sure which one is the simplest way to answer it. Okay. Yeah, I will get back to you. Maybe and check back which one. And by the way, for all, you can also try, and maybe we can share to each other, because you can actually present something also. Just interrupt my slide if you have something to show. Maybe you want to ask me a question, or you want to share with your friends too, so that all of us can see the questions. All right. Any other questions? Our brother actually showing us this. Okay, this answer. Okay, he's using two supernodes. Okay, two attempts. So if we have two supernodes, then two from one side, two from the other side, then you can omit the middle part here. But do you get the answer or not, brother? Do you get the answer or not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Okay. But by using this, you can actually omit the V2 equation.
But
If I'm not mistaken, because what I understand, the current is entering and leaving at this and that side. Okay. Okay. Any other questions related to mesh and mesh? Because this is nodal. Maybe you want to ask me about mesh. Oh, there's one more thing. For mesh, you just build up equations if you have something like I almost forgot this thing. Let's say you have a resistor, then voltage, and maybe this is a current source, something like this. The resistor, and then this is a current source. Okay, and I said we need to have an imaginary current. For this mesh analysis, you only build up equations at some loops like this, but not loops like this. Why not like this? What do you think I3 equal to? If I change this one, equal to negative or positive?
Negative.
Okay, negative 5m. Okay, so for this loop, this is the equation for your not equation. This is your answer for I3. So you don't need to build up any equation, even though you have resistor here. Okay, why not? Because this resistor have the same current, 5 amps. So if you build up equation KVL around this loop, you will get a wrong answer because there is current there. Okay, so only focus on these two. Do we have a super node here? No, super mesh. Do we have a super mesh here?
Yes, madam.
Yes, because the current is in between two unknown loops. So you have a KVL and KCL, and that's enough to solve your answer KVL and KCL. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's all. Yeah, almost everything covered. Alhamdulillah. And I will get back to brother. What's our brother? What's your name, brother?
Abdul Omar. Yes.
Abdul or Umar?
Omar.
Omar. Okay. Our brother Omar. Okay. Inshallah. And basically, I didn't upload any video yet because last time I'm using my mobile data. Yeah, it's drained out quickly. And now I'm in my hometown, alhamdulillah, in Ipoh. So inshallah, I will upload all the videos in our class, inshallah. Okay, please remind me. All right. Any other questions? So far, so good. Online session. Okay, alhamdulillah. All right. So with that, maybe I think it's better if you make videos. Oh, okay. Yesterday I did one video for my other section class. But I recorded in KL Central. It's very noisy. So I think I need to redo the videos. So inshallah later on I will upload. Okay. Any other thing you want to recommend? Can I see the okay? Crown done. Other things? No? Okay. With that, we finish our class with Tasbih Kafarah and Surah Al-As. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Al-As innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus salihati wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Brother Omar, you can share your questions with answers so that your friends also can try. Okay?
Sure. I'll send it to the group.
Yeah, in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Okay, most welcome. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, madam. Thank you, madam.
Okay, sama. Off record.